Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Kwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. The Aquath that are listening and learning being a pillar of rest. 144,000, the one-third, the hopeful elect of Israel. I am the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. Today is War and Rumors of War Tuesday, in which we read Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Then we go inside to these different versions and we read in the NIV, you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. NLT, wars and threats of wars. Okay, we got rumors and threats and reports in the Aramaic and news of battles far away. The Good News translation. All right, so we got news, we got reports, we have threats and rumors. So let's see some threats, let's see some rumors, let's see some reports and news. All right, and this is Canadian Prepper yesterday. Alert, elites leave Washington. Nuke event in Ukraine. Nuke event in Ukraine. Emergency meeting on food prices shortages. Okay, so, and this guy's a prepper, so he's got his freeze-dried food out. But he's going to speak a little bit on the missing plane and what, what that stirred up, if you will. Because, all right, one of the first words out of his mouth is going to be World War III. Take it away, Nate.
Where else, including data that you're not going to hear anywhere else. You better stick around because this is important. And pardon the lack of the illustrious big screen with the map and all the graphics. We are not resting on our laurels. I assure you, I'm not phoning this in. We do the same amount of research. I just haven't been able to go the extra mile and put together the on-screen presentation for you guys because we've been preoccupied trying to do some big league projects that, quite frankly, at this stage of the game are more important. They're educational. They don't always net the same amount of views, but they're educational for myself and for the committed, real preppers who actually watch them, okay? So let's talk about what has been going on today. Now, many of you are probably already aware that an F-35 was lost, an $80 million warplane that was the product of a $1.7 trillion program, I do believe. Well, they lost one. Yep.
Okay, here we get into the rumors. All right, rumors, reports, threats, and news.
People are saying that this is an embarrassment to the U.S. military, and while it is on the one hand, on the other hand, it is actually a testament to the stealthy capabilities. I mean, all jokes aside, the fact that they couldn't find their own plane for 24 hours is indicative that the technology works. Whatever sort of stealthy skin that they put on these things, it works. Now,
okay, so, and that's what they told us, all right? You think they wanted to tell us, hey, have you seen our plane? Do you think they wanted to say that? How stupid does it? So it had to be a situation that was very, very critical for them to have to go that route, and they did. Now he's going to say that because they didn't know what the hell was going on, that they all jumped on their escape pods and got the hell right and got themselves en route to wherever their bug out location is. And this is huge, all right? Because what did China take over the plane, hijack it with technology? What happened? All right, and they're not going to tell you. You got to figure that out on your own. Anyway, go ahead.
Around the same time, and more importantly, from our perspective, what was going on in command and control? Well, people were freaking out, apparently, because According to numerous Telegram channels and flight radar trackers on Twitter, there were numerous executive level planes that all vacated Washington, D.C. in and around the same time. Now, were they being taken away to the bunkers? Were they being taken away to Raven Rock? Were they just going for another gallivant on Epstein Island? Who knows? That was a joke, by the way, YouTube moderators. Who knows? But we do know that there is a heightened state of military activity, no matter how you slice it, not only in North America, but around the world, in terms of our strategic aviational capability. And understand that they're never going to tell us when we are at a heightened state of DEFCON combat readiness that would spook the population. The last thing the Fed right now needs, who is walking a razor's edge with the economy, is to have everybody get in a panic and pull their money out of the markets and then divest into gold and precious metals because they think that we're on the brink of nuclear war. No, they're never going to tell you. This is why Joe Biden has a 94% chance of surviving the apocalypse according to our own ratings. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. He's the one who gets the word first. He's the one with the doomsday plan that takes him directly to the probably safest place on Earth that none of us are aware even exists yet. And the rest of us, we're the last to know. Typically, you're just going to see a bright light in the distance, okay? But you can bet that these things are somehow related. That is, this mass exodus out of Washington. Now, we're just seeing a lot of this stuff. Day after day, people are making videos about heightened amounts of strategic command, doomsday plane activity in the air in and around North America and Europe. And
that was a jet fighter flying over. Yeah. You heard all that noise, just for your information.
Just par for the course. And because of this increased amount of military activity, you're going to see more accidents like this with the F-35, especially now that we're in the age of cyber. We're entering the age of AI. Was this an AI mistake? Fellow prepper pointed that out to me on Twitter. This could have been an AI blunder. Was it a cyber attack? Was it a hack job? Who knows? But sure enough, before the truth could get its pants on, a lie had already spread around the world that this thing was...
Slovakia. A lie, a rumor, right? A rumor of war had already spread around that what?
That this thing was hacked and sent to Cuba, okay? Now, when you get a piece of news like that, they were basically saying, okay, the Russians helped the Cubans hack this F-35, and it was on its way to Cuba. Now, understand that that would be an act of war if that happened. That's the definition of an act of war.
That's the definition of a rumor of war.
Stealing a country's plane, hacking the plane, and bringing it to a rival nation is clearly an act of war. So right away I knew that was just BS. Now, if it actually was, and the United States is just saying that they found it in a Carolina field somewhere, like they're saying they found some debris. Notice that they didn't say the plane yet. So the plane could still be lost, and the debris they found could have been from the pilot ejecting or something, but they say it was 60 miles away from where the pilot ejected. So the fact that it probably likely never was the debris, because that would have likely have been within a mile or so proximity of where the pilot ejected. So no, I'm guessing that that is not what happened. If that is what happened, then we are on a much higher state of nuclear preparedness and combat readiness than is being publicly disavowed. We have a ton of other stuff that we got to talk about. We got a Bulgarian drone, or a drone that crashed in Bulgaria. Many of you by now are already familiar with what's going on in Romania. They're building bunkers, they're sending out alerts to the population that's proximate to the Ukraine border. Now it's happened in Bulgaria. But the mystery about this one is they're not saying what kind of drone it is. It could be a Ukrainian drone for all we know. It could be a drone from a NATO exercise for all we know. We don't know, but we do know that things are popping off in the Black Sea day after day. There are fights happening there. There's a lot of stuff that we have to talk about that is going on in Russia as we speak.
Rumors, reports, news, threats.
The Russians apparently murked a depleted uranium storage facility, a depleted uranium ammo storage facility in Ukraine, which would in itself be a small scale radiological disaster. Okay.
Rumors.
Now, we don't know if that's true. This is from the Russian bros. I give it to you both, from the Ukraine bros, the Russia bros, because quite frankly, I simply don't know what is going on right now. You have Newsweek coming out today, and this is where the Russia bros fail. Sometimes they selectively take the mainstream media at their word, which is the craziest thing when you think about it. If you believed, or if you were in complete disbelief of everything the mainstream media said, and then suddenly they said something that you agreed with, and all of a sudden you took that at face value, that's inconsistent. Okay, so Newsweek puts out this article, right? They say that it's time to start being honest about the situation in Ukraine, i.e., the counteroffensive is failing. And of course, most people who look at that start cheering right away as some sort of concession that the Russians are winning and that the Ukrainians have to start making some concessions. But they fail to get the subtext. You just got to think just a little bit more. What could the subtext possibly be there? Why is one of 20 Newsweek articles starting to talk about, well, maybe the counteroffensive isn't going so well, and well, we've kind of been fudging the numbers a little bit all along. What they're trying to do, guys, I think, is they're trying to set the pretext for a boots on the ground intervention, or just more intervention. Many people are saying, oh, well, they're going to now have to make concessions, right? No, they're going to do the complete opposite. They're going to say, we need to help Ukraine even more. So, understand that is how the game is played. If you don't believe them when they're telling you what you don't want to hear, then don't believe them when they tell you when they do want to hear, okay?
Rumors. Look at all these rumors. So what do you believe? All right. And we'll just go ahead and stop right there. You can watch the rest of this. It's pretty lengthy, like 45 minutes. But anyway, what do you believe? Well, you believe what the scriptures say. Okay, because this has already happened, right? We're just reading about it, all right? We're playing it out in real time, okay? All right, so what are we looking for here? Let's get... Let's just read Revelation 6 and 4. Then another horse went forth, and it was bright red. Talk about the nation of Edom. And its rider was granted permission to take away peace from the earth. And this is what these devils do. And to make men slay one another. Isn't that what this war is about? And he was given a great sword. Who was given a great sword? By thy sword shall thy by thy sword. Who's that? Okay. Genesis 27 and 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck. And that's what we're in right now. Who is this talking about? Right? That guy. Okay? So, the great red dragon being spoken of right here, or the red horse, red dragon, same thing, right? Is doing what? Okay? He's taken away peace from the earth. Are we in the time of peace, or are we in the time of war? And to make men slay one another. What is that called? It's called war. And he was given a great sword. Today, that sword is furbished, right? Ezekiel 21 and 11. Yes, the sword is now being sharpened and polished. What does that mean? It is being prepared for the executioner. Esau is the executioner. All right? Sharpened and polished or furbished, right? Is when you start out and you just got a dagger. That dagger, after years and years, it turns into a gun. It turns into a cannon. It turns into a laser. It turns into a nuclear warhead. Okay, that's the sword being sharpened. All right, and we know who's doing it. All right, it's Esau. He's the executioner. He's the slayer. He's the one, right? That was he was given that he was granted permission to take away peace from the earth. Let's get Ecclesiastes. In the Berean, Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot. Okay? Jump down to 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. We are not in the time of peace. We are in the time of war. What war? World War III. Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. Woe, third woe, World War III. Second woe, World War II. Okay? And World War I. Revelation 9 and 12, the first woe has passed. Behold, two woes are still to follow. All right? There's World War I. And there's 2 and 3. Behold, two woes are still to follow. Right? If we go back, there's 2 and 3. All right, so nobody's stopping this thing. We understand that these things must come to pass. All right, so with that, we hope that the elector edified you, brothers and sisters. With that, we're going to say shalom.